Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Ajishafe. Not too good one for Nigeria as Aruna Quadri crashed out from the ITTF World competition taking place in Durban, South Africa, losing against Alvarez Noble there in that particular game after winning his first game on Monday. But Aruna Quadri couldn't get his act back against the second game where he lost out, crashing 4-3 in that particular encounter. We're also hoping for the Nigeria international and also African #1 crashed out. Using that particular story to welcome you on the show. Joining me in the studio is Emmanuel Fashimi. Looking at this story, Emmanuel, Aruna Quadri, first game he actually won, and the second game he lost against Alvarez Noble there in South Africa, taking place in Durban precisely.
Kudos to the winner for beating Africa #1, but for Aruna Quadri, I think he has done his best when it comes to tennis in Nigeria and in Africa and at the world at large. And losing that particular game to Alvarez, sincerely speaking, it's not a good sign for his position in Africa, for his pedigree, for his charisma. This year alone, though he has had some good results this year, and this is I think the third tournament thereabout that he will be attending this year, and losing out from the second this round doesn't really speak well of how well he prepared for the tournament. Though we can say age is actually catching up with him. I expect, like I said before coming into the studio, I expect Aruna Quadri at this point in time to also have the young ones that will take over from him, and also the Nigerian Tennis Federation should be doing much to get the younger ones who will actually take over from Aruna Quadri and the rest table tennis stars we have in Nigeria, the likes of Effiong, them and the rest of them. Because they cannot remain on the stage forever. At least they need to groom the young ones that will take over from them. Aruna Quadri, I remember this name has been ringing a bell for the past, let me say, 10 years now when it comes to tennis in Nigeria and in Africa, even at world at table tennis. Aruna Quadri is a name that rings bell. But at the end of the day, we need to get the younger ones that will take over from them. But for this tournament, I actually expected a lot from Aruna Quadri. This is part of it. You win some and you lose some. But at the end of the day, for the Alvarez to be able to beat the African #1, well, I think that guy actually prepared for Aruna Quadri, because I know Aruna Quadri is a man that can just take you by surprise and do the magic. But at the end of the day, he lost this game. A good one for him. All hope is not lost.
But looking at the fact that this competition is taking place in Durban, South Africa, a lot of Africans are expecting much from African players. Looking at Dina Meshref of Egypt, Omar Sarr, Eliali, Mohammed, all of them from Egypt, and also from Nigeria. We have Olajide Omotayo, we have Edem Offiong, we have Fatima Bello, and also our own Aruna Quadri that just crashed out in the second game that he played against Alvarez Noble. But despite the fact that we need a lot of Nigerians, the young ones, to be injected into this, I notice most of the time when they go for competition where they can actually pick the best that represent Nigeria, still the young ones are still not catching up yet. That's just the main issue right now.
For the young ones not catching up is boils down to the federation, because they are not actually doing enough. How many table tennis championships have we had since the beginning of the year, even towards the ending of last year? How many of those championships have they put up? How many classification game tournament have they organized? How many of the let me say catch them young tournament have they organized? So the federation, sincerely speaking, needs to wake up. They need to actually do more by getting the young ones who is going to replace the likes of Aruna Quadri, Fatima Bello, Effiong, them, Olajide, and the rest of them. Like I said, the federation is the key. Go back to the grassroots. Go to the street. There are table tennis players all over the street. Young, vibrant chap who knows how to play table tennis. Groom them together, take them out of this country, expose them to better facilities, You can actually take them to China, where the ping pong games actually where it started, where you have all the basics and all the facilities, all the rudiments, all the styles, the skills, the coaches are available to train the young ones, bring them back to this country, engage them, enroll them in competition. You see that we'll do well. But in all competition, these are the faces you see. Aruna Kadri, Ofionge Dem, Olajide, Fatima Bello, regular faces. We want to see a different name.
We're even happy now that Fatima Bello has joined the queue, because it used to be Funke Oshona Ike.
Yes.
But now Funke is out. Fatima
Bello has come.
We are seeing, if you still remember, looking at this particular clip, you look at Bode Abiodun. This is Olagide Omotayo. Olagide seems to be the second in ranking now when it comes to Nigerian table tennis. Bode Abiodun, Segun Meronton out of the list. And you have, that's Monday Meronton, Segun Toriola, all of them, they were there.
I think Segun Toriola, the likes, I'm even surprised that Aruna Kadri is still playing. Though we can say maybe everybody has his own, your body can carry you, everybody has his own psychology. Now your mental strength and whatever. For the mental strength of Aruna Kadri, his structure, his physical fitness, I think he still has that. That is why he's still on the scene. The likes of Toriola, they have bowed of the scene.
Yeah, but actually he met them.
Yeah, he met them. But if you look at the time he met them, they
were easing out when he came on.
And it's not that the age gap was just too much. But we expect that the federation by now, we should have been seeing a different name. As in, okay, look at the magnitude of this tournament. The regular faces that go there, we should have seen maybe a different name. Sunday somewhere, Sunday this.
Why do you like Sunday? Why not Abdullahi? Anyway, we've been talking tennis with Emmanuel there. Nigerian man, that's #1 in Africa. Aruna Kadri crashing out for this tournament, tied to ITTF, International Table Tennis Federation World Championship, taking place in Durban, South Africa. Well, he lost out in the second game, although he won convincingly on Monday, but he lost out this one. Hopefully others can still pick up the pieces. We're still looking at Fatima Bello is still there, Edem Ofion, the lady who is really champion in Nigerian table tennis women. Let's see what she'll be offering, and not forgetting Olayide Omotayo, the one you just saw in that particular clip. Just giving you update concerning table tennis. Away from table tennis, the sport of ping pong, let's go to basketball. Nigerian Basketball Federation right now trying to see how they can get the best out of the women. MEBF set for Zenith Women's Basketball League qualifiers that will be coming up in Lagos and also in Kaduna State. 34 teams participating in this competition. They call them Atlantic Conference and also Savannah Conference, divided into two. So one from the north, Savannah Conference. Atlantic Conference will be for the south. The teams that will be jostling for honor, 34 of them in both sides. And right now, the ladies are battle ready. It's good, at least we have our ladies back to play basketball. It's been a while. And this particular competition has really brought out a lot of talent from Nigerian basketball scene when it comes to women. And we are so glad to have the ladies back in action for this particular competition.
Good one, good one. And to tell you the truth, the ladies have, I would say, the whole issues, the whole saga in the NBBF, I think they were the one that suffered it most. That's for the ladies. Because for quite some times now, over 2 years, we've not had the ladies basketball competition actually going on, because of, we know what was going on in that federation, having factions here and there, politics, never allowed the game to strive. And the women actually was, in fact, they were at the receiving end of the whole issue. The men were still playing in a way, but for the women, there was nothing for them at all. And good one that we've had our issues, we had our problems. It has been put under the bed, and right now it's back up and running. And for the ladies, good one that the league is back. It's just it's at the point of let me say, it's just right for this league to come back, for this league, because they have actually suffered. I think I met few of them some times ago, and they were actually not happy that the league was not up and running for them, most especially because for the guys we still have some individual competition that was organized for guys, only the male basketballers, but for the females there was nothing to show for them. But good one that is back up and running, and we are just expecting the best of the slamming and dunking game for the ladies.
Well, right now the ladies are battle ready, 34 teams, and hopefully a lot of talents will be discovered. Just like you were saying, the Tigers really suffered after qualifying for World Cup. They couldn't go to the World Cup. Their money was not paid as at the time. They actually sweated it out. And also you look at the way we even treat even the women's football in Nigeria. We still see them as second fiddle compared to Super Falcons, rather Super Eagles. But right now it's high time we begin to see, because if you check last year sporting world concerning Nigeria, you see women really dominating, winning a lot of things for Nigeria, a lot of laurels, medals, cups for Nigeria in sport. It's high time we really give them that attention, that support, both financially, both morally, and also taking them that high pedestal where they belong. They really made Nigerian sport very popular, especially the Tigers. But right now, the ladies will be fighting, 34 teams fighting for honors in both Kaduna, the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, and also in Lagos for this Zenith Women Basketball League qualifiers, where they'll be fighting to see who stays on. And at least they are very happy for the fact that finally they are back to play the slam and dunk sport of basketball. They have been talking concerning Nigerian sport, first of all with table tennis, Aruna Quadri crashing out, and also looking at the MBBF organized competition for women. Now let's go to the round leader game, football. NLO, Nationwide League One, the playoff, that's promotion playoff matches to kick off that should be 6th May and the 26th May anyway. But from the way it is right now, this particular competition will be starting, and you look at all the clubs are battle ready to see how they can get to play the playoff, so that they can see who actually moves to NNL.
I think hostilities will actually start hostilities will start in 2 days' time. That is 26th of May, and we've had teams who are battle ready for the NNL playoff. And to tell you the truth, this is where we get teams that comes to the NNL, and then from the NNL they graduate. They have to play the competition there, they have to play themselves, and then probably get the promotion to play in the MPFL proper.
It's always easier. The way you are saying it, I say, oh, they will just come from NNL, qualify for NNL.
It's not easy because you have to go through series of matches, and this season I think we are operating on the average format, but hopefully by next season everything will go back to normal, and we'll have the 38 matches straight, and it's going to be a span in 3 as in months, and then it's going to take weeks before we can actually crown the champion. But if I have that opportunity to advise the league management company, the NFF, I think we should continue with the average league.
Maybe you want to say IMC. There's no LMC.
IMC, I beg your pardon. We should continue with the average league, because
it's kind of very interesting.
Very interesting.
A lot of Nigerians fell in love with it because you play 18 matches. After the 18 matches, okay, the best 3 you go for Super 6. In the NNL, the best 4 will go for Super 8.
Super 8.
And you know, NLO promotional playoff, you fight for 8.
If you are not there, that means you have to fight for every point that comes away. But when we have the normal regular season where you play 38 matches span into the weeks, you see, it looks boring.
One. Then there could be a chance for all these issues of match
administrators coming in to fix matches, bribing of referee, or players fixing matches. They pretend to, as in some of them comes up with injury, fake their injury where it's not supposed to be, because they know they are one of the best player in that team. And at the end of the day, okay, I remember a team from Jos, I will not mention the name, where they were trashed 10-0 for the other team to qualify. So you see all of, but now if you have the average league, everything, no team wants to sell that slot or that space. They want to play in the most senior league in the land. So I believe the IMC can actually look inward as in working with the NFF. We should continue with this average league at least for 3 seasons.
but really, if you look at it also, to some extent, I think both actually have advantage and disadvantages.
Yes, of course.
Why? If you look at the average league, yes, you travel less, compared to the normal league 38 matches, you're going to run around the whole Nigeria. But for a big league, okay, it's the team in your group that you play against.
Yes.
Then it's reduced. Maybe you are playing 18 matches instead of 38. So
matches.
already 28 matches are, or rather, you are cutting off at least 28 matches. So, but for rather 20 matches. For the main league, you have to do the whole routine.
38.
Aside that, just like you said, it could be boring. But really, if you look at it, it's still very interesting. The one we watch in Europe.
Yes, the one we watch in Europe because they have a better organization, better planning, and a system that is actually working. Here we are still struggling. It's not that we cannot be better or we cannot be at that level where the Europeans are. It's just negligence on our own part, and at some point corruption that has eaten deep into the system of the country. That is why we are seeing some of the abnormalities we are seeing. It's not that we can plan a league of 38 matches, make it interesting. Now, if you look at the European teams, they have sponsor. This, that, everybody coming in, the sports stakeholder, everybody trying to at least show interest, put in, you have to put in your money.
It's a business.
They know that, okay, if I invest in this, I know what I'm getting. If you look at their shirts, they have some yes, write-ups on their shirts, and if a team is going to carry the logo of the name of your brand, you have to pay because they can't do it for free. So part of that, we need to also see that comes down this way, where we can see private companies, individuals, the government also putting up policies that we even welcome some of these investors that will say, okay, these guys are coming in. And like we mentioned on this show sometimes ago, there should be a law. If you want to have your company or your brand in this country, then you should at least pick one spot. Whether you sponsor, as in maybe you buy their kits, or whatever.
What if you don't like sport? And maybe I'm thinking of, instead of that, why not, okay, so an amount of percentage, like taxation, we just go into sports, development, and that is part of it. You see that everybody will be doing well. You see players, when they see this motivation, that is what it is. Because, if you say you pick one sport, what if everybody decides to say, no, I don't like any sport, I don't want to spend any money?
And like, that is another idea you mentioned that, okay, let's, this part of whatever, 2% of this, 2% of your tax is going in for sports development, and so be it. And if you want to pick any other, maybe a particular sport, and everybody will welcome the idea.
We've been talking concerning NLO promotional playoffs starting from 26 May, and really it's going to be a big one because all the clubs are battle ready and they want to make sure they develop themselves, and also delving into sport development in Nigeria and also sport business. We really need to see sport as business. It's really something that will change Nigerian mentality and also get Nigerian government revenue, be it in federal, state, or even local government. Aside that, all the brands that will be supporting sport also, they know what is at stake. Something must just be done policy-wise to make sport very lucrative and interesting or inviting in Nigerian sports sector. There, we've been talking concerning that. Let's move away from the NLO promotional playoff. Let's talk about the Nigerian Football Federation inaugurating the appeals committee set up just yesterday. Let's look at that particular story. NFF inaugurates NFF Appeals Committee tax on diligence and fairness. Well, the committee, we have talked about Barrister Gandhi Umar Mohammed is the chairman, Barrister Martin Hussein Effiong, vice chairman, Joshua Onoja Esquire as the secretary, Barrister Bueno Dauda, a member, Burka Mwazu, member, and have Benvo Akosahar as the also member. 6 of them actually inaugurated as the NFF Appeals Committee, or the appeals coming from football matters. We'll go straight to them. And I love the fact that, well, if you look at it, it seems to all lawyers, so they know the law.
They know the law, and that is why there's a saying that there's no, when it comes to law, there's no ignorance. And the appeal committee is coming at the right time because the season is gradually winding down. I know a lot of issues at some point will arise, so the appeal committee, we have to deal with that. If you have any grievances about any issue that is bothering you, you have a place to call, you have a place to go to where they will actually attend to your case and listen to it. And if there's any further actions that needs to be taken, then they will follow it up. And that is why the appeal committee is being set up by our own NFF president Ibrahim Gusso. And for the members, all they need to do at this point in time, they did not inaugurate them to go there and sit down or look for their own selfish gain or their own private whatever. It's for them to actually give us the fairness, diligence, equity, diligence, and what have you. Whenever a matter is brought to your table, they should deal with it with all fairness, with all equity, so that we will not be raising eyebrow. You shouldn't be biased. Go straight to the point. Say that if it is white, say it is white. If it is black, say it is black. Don't take sides. That is why the committee is being set up. And for the NFF president, I think he has been doing a lot to actually see how he can rewrite some of the wrongs when it comes to football matters in Nigeria. But he needs to do more because we are really behind.
Well, we just hope that it seems to go well. Barrister Gandhi Umar there leading the appeals committee as the chairman. Let's see what they'll be offering concerning all the appeals that will be coming to the NFF according to the inauguration done, just to get this the committee up to make sure Nigerian football gets better. We've just been talking concerning that particular story. Let's switch to international now as we look at the result of games played yesterday in Spanish La Liga. Games were played, looking at the results. Celta Vigo shared the spot against Girona 1-1, Real Sociedad 1, Almeria 0, and you have Barcelona losing against Real Valladolid 3-1, although they've done the business, so the deed has been done. So even if they lose this game 5-0,
all the teams that are battling relegation right now, they will just use Barcelona and climb up, and that is what
then they should put their searchlight on that because if all of them should be defeating Barcelona like that.
Now they've lost a game back to back. Something that has
although they've won the league, so there's no point.
There's no point. But you have to play the remaining matches.
But they are playing.
Now they are giving. They are giving points to teams that needs the points. But as it stands, good one for them. They are champions already. They are just. It give rooms for players who have not gotten the playing time since the beginning of the season to actually have a feel of what it is to be a champion, and that is what Xavi is actually doing right now. Good one for Real Valladolid getting that important 3 points and important 3 goals that actually kept them going in the league. And for Celta Vigo and Girona, it was actually a cracker. 1-1 it ended. Good one for all the teams. And for Barcelona, congratulations to them.
And from the way it is now, even though we actually we talked about Vinicius Junior yesterday on the show, just briefly, a lot of issues coming up. We've seen the VAR referee being asked for the fact that he didn't allow the main referee on the pitch to actually see what really happened concerning the chance of Monkey against Vinicius Junior. And we also see a lot of solidarity efforts coming. But someone actually said, yes, good. It's good to do all this, but really, you need to quickly do something. Remove that 3 points of Valencia. Do it, deduct the 3 points, let them feel it. The fans, although we heard that 7 arrests have been made concerning the fans of Valencia, 7, they've been arrested, and now they'll be prosecuted and all that. But something must be done to quickly set a record.
I think something must be done to actually set a record. 3 points is too small. If they can do 6 points to a team, I think
at least sink them or affect them.
The other teams will now know, okay, because I think the Spanish FA is not actually doing more when it comes to this racist issue. If you look at Italy, no, it's a norm in Italy, but I think in a way the Italians have been able to deal with that issue to an extent. But for Spanish, we always hear racism, whatever, at some point. Now it's now becoming a norm for them, and the FA will just treat it with all levity and whatever. It's not done. And for Vinicius Junior, you as the referee, you know that this guy has already been angered by the fans. I wasn't expecting that red card. And if you look at that clip, Vinicius Junior wouldn't have even gotten a red card because
actually I heard that red card has been rescinded, right?
Yes, it has been rescinded, but at that point where you issued that red card to that young man, it was because Ancelotti even actually called the referee to stop that game when the whole racist chant was going on, and the referee felt okay. He went to him, punched him on the back, told him something. I don't know what he told him. He actually encouraged him to play on, but the game still went on, and these fans kept chanting. So you should well, at the end of the day, the Spanish FA needs to do more.
It needs to do more concerning racism in Spain. It's becoming a big thing there, a big monster that is eating up a lot of players internally. Something must be done concerning that. We've been talking Sport on 360, Sport on Trust TV with Emmanuel Fashemi. Maybe right now, what will you do if you are to be Vinicius Junior?
Well, he shouldn't take the loss.
That's the moment on the field.
On the field?
Yes, on that pitch.
Just walk away.
What a big world there with Emmanuel Fashemi. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Adeniyi Ajisafe. Thanks for watching.